Hey guys, welcome to episode number 373. Today's Tuesday, so I have another tank tip for you. I decided to shoot it outdoors because it's lovely outside, but the lighting was great and I'm spending some quality time with the puppy. But the topic for today is the top 10 things you can do when you attend an aquarium conference to get the most stuff possible. Now, this is a real challenge, and for anyone who's attended an event like MACNA before, you know that there's a lot on the line, right? You buy a ticket to a show, you want to get the most out of it. These are 10 tips to help you get the most out of it. And a lot of these tips are going to be related to you living within driving distance of that event. Now, some of these things you can do, with a plane ticket, but a lot of these things, if you are within driving distance of that event, you can really maximize what you can get out of that event at the end of the day. So, with that, events are held all over the country, so just look at your local area and look for the shows that are nearest to you. A lot of times they're held in Boston, New York, DC, Florida, Chicago, California. So, wherever you live, if you live within driving distance, go to those shows. I promise you, you will make out like a bandit with these 10 tips. All right, so number one, come prepared. Now, come prepared, that means that if you live within driving distance, don't bring a car, bring a truck, bring a trailer, bring whatever you need to in order to be prepared to scoop up fish and aquariums and all kinds of stuff at the end of the show. So if you have nets, if you have buckets, if you have fish bags, if you have rubber bands, if you have spare water sitting around, bring all of that stuff and have it with you just in case. Because a lot of times people at the end of the show, they're just trying to get rid of stuff, and if you have the space to take stuff, that's when you're gonna make out. So number two is plan your route. When the doors first open, all of those vendors who are in their little booth spaces, they have free stuff for you, free swag. And a lot of times what you need to do is plan your route in a way where you're going to sort of hit the booths in the opposite order from everyone else. Now, a lot of people tend to enter a room and go left, and then they're going to go all the way down the aisle, and then they're going to circle around and come back. So what you might want to do is go into the room and turn right. And I would recommend that you hit all of the bigger booths first. If you have a map, a show floor map, where all of the different booths are, even check off, your favorite booths so you know which ones to hit first, because there is a limited amount of free stuff that those booths are going to be giving out. And if you get there first, you have a better chance of getting that stuff. Now, a lot of people will replenish that supply over time throughout the week or whatever, but if you get there first, oftentimes you can snag the stuff before anyone else gets there. Number three is have a place to stash your gear. Now, this is really important. The optimal idea would be to have a room, a hotel room, in the same location as the venue itself. That way you can basically just grab a backpack full of stuff, and when you've sort of loaded up, or when you need a break, you can bring it all back to your room and then go back down and go at it again. It's really important to have that place nearby so that you're not spending a whole bunch of time transporting things. Number four is a giveaway schedule. So oftentimes booths will have giveaways. Oftentimes you have to be there in order to win, and oftentimes it's free to enter. Like, you just drop your name in a goldfish bowl. Or a business card, so bring business cards if you have those as well. And so they will often say, there's this like premium fish, or there's this premium light or filter, canister filter or something else, and we're giving it out to someone at a specific time. Make sure you start to take note of where all of those locations are and what times they're giving those things away. That way you can make sure that you return to the right place at the right time to have a better chance of winning that stuff, because a lot of people won't end up going back. And that means if you're there, you have a better chance of actually picking that up. Number 5 is sweet talk your way into premium swag. Now, a lot of times they'll give out keychains and, stress toys and, pens and other things that, you can just sort of grab and go. But a lot of times booths will also have more premium items that they're willing to give away, but they're not willing to give it away to everyone. What they want is a quality conversation. They want you to introduce yourself. They want you to talk a little bit about, who you are and what your challenges are in the hobby and why you love their brand. Tell them how much you love their products, and they'll be more likely to pull out a t-shirt that they have out back, or maybe they have a sample size product that they're willing to give away, but they're not going to give it away to everyone. But if you sweet talk them enough, they might just give it to you. Number 6 is raffle tickets. So a lot of these shows will have raffles. A lot of vendors will enter items into those raffles, and then those things will just be given away either throughout the week or at the end of the week. And the important part with the raffle tickets is it doesn't really matter where you spend your tickets. You can put one in each raffle prize. You can throw them all in one prize. But the really important thing is to make sure that if they're raffling some things off at the end of the week, make sure you put all of your raffle tickets into those items, because what happens is the last day of an event, a lot of people start packing up and going home. That means that they're going to pull out a raffle ticket and the person isn't going to be there to win it. And oftentimes they'll just keep pulling tickets until someone stands up and says that they've won. So you're going to get a second shot, you're going to get a third shot, you're going to get a fourth shot with that one ticket, which essentially makes that ticket 3 or 4 times as valuable. And that happens consistently at the end of the events. So make sure you place those raffle tickets wisely in the prizes that are going to be given away at the very end. A lot of vendors will have discounts at the end of the show. They really don't want to bring all their stuff home with them. In fact, they're probably willing to take a loss on some of those items instead of having to bag all that stuff back up and bring it home. Oftentimes, if it's livestock, it might not even get home alive. So for a vendor, they're taking a risk in holding on to a whole lot of product. So, they don't want to carry it back to their car. They don't want to repack it. They just want to get rid of it. So oftentimes, if you wait until the final day and you're patient, you can score some pretty sweet deals when they start offering discounts. And if you have a few booths in mind that you've scoped out and you have some products or livestock that, you're interested in, just ask them if they're going to be offering a discount on the last day and what that discount might be. And then you can make a determination as to whether or not you're willing to wait. Number 8, stay past closing time. So the last day, a lot of times they make the final call and they say, the show floor will be closing in 30 minutes, it will be closing in 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and then they want everyone out of the show floor because they're going to start dismantling all of the booths, and all the vendors are going to start, emptying the water in the tanks, and it turns into complete chaos. That's actually when you want to be in the room. That's when you're going to score the best deals. So if you can manage to finagle your way past the deadline and stay in the room at all costs, do it. Because what you're going to start to find is a lot of things that people leave behind that you might be able to pick up. So with that in mind, number 9 is, once people start breaking down their booths, ask them what they're leaving behind, what they don't want to take home, and make a deal with them. A lot of times, if someone buys something for the show, it might be a table, it might be a chair, it might be a 55-gallon aquarium. Who knows? They might not want to take that home. It might cost them more to transport that home than that item is worth. And in that case, you might be able to get that for free, or you might be able to make a deal with them and just pay cash and grab it and go. So, you know, there's a lot of great opportunities at that time when people are starting to close up. They're starting to try to organize what they have left into what they're taking home with them and what they're leaving behind. And oftentimes, if you just offer a little bit of money, they might be willing to leave it behind because it's not worth it to them. A lot of times, too, people will set up their booths and they'll actually go out and buy things locally. Like they'll go to a Petco and they'll buy an aquarium and they'll bring it there and set it up, but they have no intention of bringing that home because they might have taken a plane. But, you know, in their rental car, they're able to throw that, you know, 55-gallon tank in there and set it up at the show. So those sort of items are just going to be left behind. So if you can get in there early enough while they're still breaking down, you can make a deal and secure those items and bring them home with you. And then number 10 is once everyone is sort of packed up and left, there's oftentimes stuff that is eventually left behind, and that's when you can go into scavenge mode and just pick up whatever is left behind. You know, the items will vary. You know, sometimes it might just be like 5 or 10 gallons of spare water that they left behind, and you got to make a determination whether or not it's worth carrying something like that because it's not really that valuable. But oftentimes people will leave fairly valuable stuff behind, and it's just, again, it's things that they can't bring with them. So once they have left for good and they've abandoned their booth, that's when you can sort of swoop in and grab whatever they decided to leave behind. So anyways, guys, those are the 10 tips for how to maximize the amount of stuff you get from attending an aquarium trade show, convention, whatever the case may be. They're held all over the US, freshwater, saltwater, so find out which one is near you, and maybe these tips can help you maximize what you bring home at the end of the day. And remember to have fun. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.